Hello and welcome to Bridging the Gap. I'm your host, Ty Johnson, and we're so pleased that you have joined us today. Today I have some special guests from a program called S.P.E.A.K. The founder and president is Jeff Templeton. Vice president is Aaron Mason. Aaron, welcome to the show. Jeff, welcome to the show. For our viewing audience, could you tell us what S.P.E.A.K. stands for, that acronym?
S.P.E.A.K. stands for Staying Positive Equals Amazing Kids.
Staying positive equals amazing kids. Now, what was the stimulus that started your program? You started in what year?
In 2009. S.P.E.A.K. is a byproduct of a project that I started in 2008, which was to get people to stand up against crime and speak out against it. I designed a T-shirt that was to counteract the Stop Snitching shirt. So the website was called Don'tLetMeSeeYouDoIt.com. And I would go out and encourage people to stand up in their neighborhood and speak out against crime and give them some tips to what they can do to defer crime from happening in their neighborhood. So S.P.E.A.K. is the genius of that.
Did you envision when you first started your program that you would be where you are today, or was it just something that you sat at home one night and the light bulb went off?
No, I'm actually really happy from where we've started from and where we landed at now. We're still doing a lot of accelerating and work to get to higher places. We have goals that we need to achieve, but we're doing really good. I'm really proud about it.
That's good. And Aaron, how did you get involved with the program?
Well, Jeff and I actually partnered up once we found a need for the program. We sat back and actually discussed what kind of issues that we could actually focus on to affect the community. And once we figured out that kids were kind of the way to go, because that's the foundation of everything, is kind of starting out from the beginning of childhood. And once we decided that we wanted to touch between the grades of 6th and 7th grade, and decided that was like the focal point, because once we really believe that once you got into high school, it's kind of like you got your mind made up. You're much like a sponge when you're those groups between 6th and 8th grade. So we naturally decided to attack that area. And once we attacked it, man, we started getting results.
Did you start in a public school, or how did your program start? Was it by word of mouth, or did somebody refer people to you? How did you actually start the process of who was going to be in your program?
It actually started within the public school setting. I think the very first school that we visited was A.B. Day Middle School. And we created a PowerPoint presentation on peer pressure. So we spoke to children about peer pressure, how to identify the different types of peer pressure and different ways that you can deal with it.
So the bullying, like we hear that's real popular now, where people, was that offshoot of what you do to stop bullying? Was that?
Oh, sure. I mean, peer pressure is all different types of things. It's bullying. There's many different types of peer pressure. So we spoke about bullying. We spoke about, underage drinking. We spoke about the importance of not doing drugs and speaking up and, yeah.
So when you started in A.B. Day, which I know that school, I went to Jenks, which is up in Chestnut Hill. You might be familiar with Jenks.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, yeah, we do it there.
You have a program
Yes.
there?
Yeah, we do.
Yes, we do.
Good. I wish you had one when I was there. I probably wouldn't end up where I am now. But anyway, that's another story. But how did you guys, when you started going to the different schools, was it because the principal requested you? Was it because these were schools that were identified as target areas that needed this particular service? How did you come about choosing the schools?
Well, there's no school that's exempt from any types of social issues. I mean, peer pressure is everywhere. So you're gonna always have social issues somewhere, and youth can always use some sort of assistance. But normally what we do is we bring a program into our schools, or into the schools rather, and we do a really good job there, and we get recommended to other places.
Now, when you say you come into the school, Aaron, what are some of the specifics that you do with the kids in your program?
Well, we have a couple of programs. One, if we specifically deal with the peer pressure presentations or the drug awareness presentation, we actually go in there and we actually put on a presentation. But if we actually going in there and offering our program, which we also have a golden ticket program, the golden ticket incentive program actually allows them to take a parent. Actually, let me start from here. A teacher awards them. They're selected out of a group because of academic merit, or if a teacher feels like they're just improving a great deal. They're selected and they are awarded, in some cases we give out zoo tickets, in other cases we give out eatery tickets, like for places specifically to eat, because we have restaurants and other places that are part of our program.
Okay.
So they get to actually take their parent to a place out to eat to say, look, this is how well I've been doing. I was awarded for this. And then we also have our shadowing program. To go and take a shadowing program, this is one where a child is selected, once again, by our teacher, a boy and a girl, on a monthly basis. And they are able actually to shadow a city council person, a judge, or a state rep for that month.
Wow.
And as for one single day that is for that
Right.
month. And that's one of our goals and one of our things that I think that is very impressive about us, is that we try to work it, you know.
Now, with that kind of initiative where you're actually shadowing a public figure, how in the world do you get those kids to lock in right now? Because I know you watch news like I do. There's so much corruption. People are so skeptical about judges, about the traffic court getting shut down. Do you try to inspire these kids as well to say, hey, look, there are some honest people who do this work. This could be a career for you, if a career path for you. How's that designed?
I think the fear really festers in adults more than it does our youth. And it's important that we present our youth with as many opportunities as possible. So giving them this opportunity to shadow a public figure while they're in the workplace can remove a lot of intimidation or fear that may exist in a child, and give them the opportunity to say, you know what, I think I can do this. I don't need a college degree to run for city council or become mayor even. So it's really important that we inspire our youth nowadays so that they can do a better job in seeing the goals that they need to achieve.
Now I'm sorry.
I was going to also piggyback on what he just said. It's also, the experience. You're going down there and you're actually in city government. For a kid to see that and experience it and be on that first-hand level,
Right.
It's like, wow. We had one little girl that was there and she says, wow, I actually think I could do this. And that's impressive. That's to sit there and say, well, I've actually went through a small experience of it, and man, I might be interested in doing this. And that's encouraging for us, because we put somebody in that position and they just took it from there,
And having said that, I was going to ask you guys, and you could describe it in your own words, how do you measure the change, or how do you measure your success? Is it that kids come back and tell you, or do you have some kind of survey where they give you feedback? How do you measure your success from year to year?
Well, we have a survey system. We had a survey system, a paper survey, where we had kids actually mark down certain answers that we had picked out for them to check off, whether they be negative, neutral, or undecided. But we also check back with the kids at the end of the year or through the course of the year and see how they're doing in terms of progress. And obviously, we go to the kids to see how, what are some things that they would like to see that we could possibly offer them.
So they have a direct input in the curriculum that you provide for them?
Absolutely, absolutely. We also offer an annual community service project where all the children that we work with during the course of the year are invited to come down to Love Park, which is an event called Helping Hands, where they can come down and help feed the homeless.
Oh, wow. Okay. Now, I cheated, so I'm going to tell you, because I don't want you to think I'm Mr. Wisdom. I'm certainly not. So I looked on your website at some of your initiatives. Aaron, what are you most proud of when you look at some of the initiatives that you guys have done in a short period of time?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I kind of want to follow what Jeff just talked about. The Helping Hands, I guess our volunteer day, as I would really feel it, that we go out there and experience what it's like to actually be homeless a lot of times. And it's not us living there. It's not us, staying there overnight or whatever the case is, but it's just a feeling of helping out and seeing how genuine a lot of these people are and how unfortunate some of their situations were. I remember our first or second time down there, we actually talked to a lot of the vets that were down there. Because there's a lot of veterans that were just down on their luck. And one thing or another went in a different direction, and now they're homeless. And you talk to some guys, and some of the knowledge that they have, it's unbelievable. And I love helping kids, and I love just helping people, period. But one thing I got out of that was just really be mindful of your position and how one way or another, if this way goes this way, if this goes this way, you could actually be homeless yourself and appreciate where you are, you know, and don't mind helping people. Don't mind giving that helping hand, because maybe somebody could give you the helping hand on another day, you know?
Now, I have a question. How many students, is there a cap of the number of students that participate in your program annually, or is it first come, first serve? How do you establish that?
Well, we obviously we're not a huge organization, so we take on as much as we can, you know, deal with. But right now we're working with 3 different schools. Jenks is one of them, Anthony Wayne Academy, and John B. Kelly. So we get two children a month for the Golden Ticket program. But that's, you know, per school. So that would be, you know, six students a month in that regard. But other programs, like we're going to have a barbecue in July coming up, where we're going to invite the winners to come out to the barbecue and enjoy, you know, a meal on us as well, and as well as the community service effort, where anyone from 1 to 300 people can show up.
I know both of you guys are president and vice president, respectfully. Is there a volunteer base of people who volunteer to help, or do you have volunteers, or do you welcome volunteers or not?
Absolutely, sure, absolutely. We're always looking for volunteers on Helping Hands, when Helping Hands comes up every year, which is in November, normally 2 weeks before Thanksgiving. So we always encourage people to come down and help us out and get that direct intervention, because, you know, a lot of people, like Aaron said, a lot of people misunderstand homeless.
Well, would you give us that phone number or website if somebody who viewing this program who perhaps may want to volunteer?
Sure, it's www.Philly, P-H-I-L-L-Y, speak.org. The phone number is 215-254-5157.
Okay. Now, I know you mentioned, I go back to Jenks and all that, because it seems as though maybe I'm incorrect. It seems like right now you're targeting sort of like the Northwest Philadelphia area, because A.B. Day and Jenks, those schools are Northwest Philadelphia.
Well, we live within that vicinity, so it's easier for us to travel.
Okay.
We don't get a great deal of funding, so it's hard for us to budget for certain things. So we would love to go citywide with it, but, you know, we have to be careful in what we do and how far we go. So
now, you mentioned the restaurants, Aaron, that sponsor you guys, or that are part of your program, where the kids can take their parents or what have. What are some of the restaurants that participate in your program?
I'll answer that question.
Sure.
You know, some of them, like, we actually have a beauty salon, which is one of the best beauty salons in the city of Philadelphia. It's Ambria's Beauty Salon, located in East Falls. And what she does, she actually has she has an actual golden ticket, and a child and their parent are allowed to go into the salon and get both of their hairs done.
Wow.
You know, that's a pretty expensive ticket. So, but her heart is phenomenal. You know, she absolutely extends herself all the way.
That's great. So you have some of the businesses.
Yeah. Some of the eateries, like Aaron was mentioning, is that Sin Sin's, which is a really nice restaurant in Chestnut Hill.
Yes.
Cosmos Pizzeria, really nice place up there where the old Borders bookstore used to be.
Yes, I know what that is.
So, and then closer than the Germantown, we got Giovanni's Pizza, Rose Petals. We actually have a new restaurant that just came on board. It's
Indian fusion restaurant.
Yeah, Pakistani grill, Indian restaurant. Really nice place. Really nice place.
Well, it sounds like you got some real good places to go and eat. So, but again, I hope some people heard that number and will contact you guys, or go online and contact you guys. Great program.
Thank you.
And I want to thank you, Aaron, and thank you, Jeff, for being on today's program.
Thank you for
Don't
having
you go
us.
away. We'll be right back.
Have you ever
Had someone repeatedly put their hands on you even though you were saying no?
been threatened into an unwanted sexual activity? Each year, there are almost 300,000 victims of sexual assault,
Unwanted touching,
attempted rape, and committed rape
and even receiving sexually threatening messages.
are all forms of sexual assault. Anyone can be a victim
No matter the age, gender, or ethnicity, take a stand.
against sexual assault.
Cyberbullying comes in many forms and can happen 24/7. If you or someone you know is a victim of cyberbullying, take preventative and assertive action. Keep evidence and document all instances. Remember to record dates, times, descriptions, and also save and print screenshots. Block your cyberbully and present your evidence to school officials or law enforcement. No one deserves to be a victim of cyberbullying, and together we can end it. For more information, visit stopbullying.com.
I'm a writing center tutor, and I know more.
I'm an athlete, and I know more.
I'm a professor, and I know more.
I'm in Greek life, and I know more.
I'm an RA, and I know more.
If you see someone who may be at risk of sexual assault, step up and keep them safe. For more information about sexual assault and what you can do to prevent it, visit knowmore.org. Show your support by speaking out against sexual assault by using the No More hashtag on social media.
Hello and welcome back to Bridging the Gap. We have with us now from the SPEAK program, Kevin Evans. Kevin, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Todd. Thank you for having us.
You want to share with us your title and exactly what it is you do with SPEAK and how did you formulate your relationship with SPEAK?
I've joined SPEAK about 2 years ago, and I started with the Helping Hands of Freemasonry and SPEAK organization where we help the homeless. And what I'm doing with SPEAK now is I'm putting together a culinary program. I've already went out to University of Penn and to the Upward Bound program and did a cooking demo for them. But part of the cooking demo is a food safety program as well. So I've taken basically the food safety program from the city and incorporated some of those important things into the program for students and children, just to learn how to, hand washing, temperatures of cooking, and things like that, just so they know the basics. And then also, my goal is to teach children that are home alone sometimes in the afternoon. They come home from school, parents are working, to maybe teach them how to prepare some food for themselves and fend for themselves, if you will. The biggest thing that I really enjoy is the Helping Hands program every year. That is really, when I started doing that, that really showed me such a need for what we do. And at that point, I had to team up with Jeff and Aaron to, make this happen. So,
for those who might be just tuning in, would you explain to them the Helping Hands program and what that consists of?
The Helping Hands program is basically it's a catered event for the homeless people, which we do at Love Park every year, and it's hugely successful. We've had, upwards of 300 people there that come out, and people that are in need, like Aaron was saying earlier, homeless people, it's really a terrible position in life to be in, and I don't never wish it upon anybody, but it's nice to know that there are people like us that go down to Love Park and help out. This year we did a Thanksgiving dinner, which was amazing. We had a great turnout. We had a lot of volunteers, and just to see the faces on people and their, the fact that they're so grateful for us being there to give them a meal. So we do serve them a hot meal, which is really nice, and then also we provide them with clothing and things like that.
Oh, that's great.
Which is phenomenal.
That's
great. It's a great program. And that's just one of many things, but we're looking to expand the program now and doing some cooking demos. We've had some students to my place of work where we've given them a tour of the catering facility or restaurant, took them into the kitchen, did a cooking demo for them, gave them lunch, and it was just a huge hit.
Now, what does the cooking demo consist of? I know you said food safety is one of the components.
Well, the food safety program, which is extremely important. learning, simple things as washing your hands, how important it really is, and I think it's overlooked so often, and as much as doctors say it and you see it everywhere, there's hand sanitizer everywhere, it is important to wash your hands. But there are many other components of food safety, different types of foodborne illnesses and things like that that are talked about, and then we move on into a cooking demo, and it could be anything from, a pasta dish to how to prepare meat or something like that. So
now I know this is for the kids primarily, but like for an adult like myself who doesn't know how to cook, never learned, one of the curses of being an only boy and 3 sisters. But anyway, how would that help an adult, perhaps, who brings their child to your cooking program and they say, wow, I didn't know you could make a dish like that, or I didn't know it was so easy to do that, or I don't know cooking temperatures. Have you found that to be helpful to adults as well who may not know how to cook?
Yeah, it's very helpful to everyone that is interested. Cooking could be a hobby or it could be something you take seriously. As a professional myself, I enjoy cooking. It's my life. And to be able to teach it to others is spectacular. And adults can learn just like children. If you have things like Food Network at home, you enjoy watching that. Going out and giving a demo to people is just amazing. And they're like, wow. I had, when I was at University of Penn, we did a demo, and the director of the program called me back and told me that she made it for her family the next day, and they loved it.
Wow.
So that was really very rewarding for me, and I'll probably be going back out there again soon to do another demo for them.
But now by trade, you're an executive chef, is
Yes.
that correct? And do you work like at a local eatery or?
I run a on-premise catering facility where we do weddings and banquets and things like that. We also have an off-premise catering site, which is Village Catering, where we are the official caterer of flyers and stuff like that. Okay. So we do tons of catering. Catering is probably my specialty, but it's nice to be able to take it and move it into something else and teach people.
That was my question. I know your involvement with Speak, you said you got involved about 2 years ago? Or?
Yes.
Did you hear about it through word of mouth, or did you know Jeff, or how did you make that transition? Because most executive chefs, at least that I know, don't volunteer their time to do what you're doing, especially working with the homeless population.
Well, I became friends with Jeff about 3 years ago, and we started he invited me out to the Helping Hands thing, and I thought it was a great idea. So I jumped into that, and I've been involved with it since. And then I guess it's been about 1 year now that I've actually been focused in some other areas of Speak. But there's such a need for the programs, and to see how interested people are when you're sitting there giving them a live demo, especially to get the attention of teenagers or young kids or even adults who would love to learn how to cook, and just basically light up their faces. It's kind of an adrenaline rush, because once you start doing it, you just want to keep doing it, because they're so excited and they're so into it. And then when they taste the product you made, and they're like, wow, this is awesome, you just want to give them more.
No, when I was in school, they had home economics. You might remember that. That was about 1,000 years ago when I was in public school. Do they still have home ec? Because, again, like I said, I never took the class, obviously, since I don't know how to cook. But I would think that some of the students that you work with, perhaps many of them, it might be their first time being exposed to that element of life called cooking.
Maybe. I think there are some culinary programs in the schools. I'm a Philadelphia kid, and I went to Mass.Bomb, where I took the culinary program, and I started from there. And then from there, I went to the Culinary Institute of America in Hyde Park, New York. But home economics, I think, is a thing of the past.
I'm dating myself, yeah.
You and me both weren't, when I started high school, there was home economics, and then it just faded out. But I think that the need for a culinary program is fantastic. A lot of friends of mine joined the program. Today we're chefs, and we love what we do. So.
As you advance into the Speak program, will you transition also into the type of meals that people should eat? I know the First Lady, Michelle Obama, is real big on what types of foods kids should eat and so forth.
Sure, you always want to add nutrition to it. That is huge, and what you eat obviously, impacts your health as you get older. And it is a little difficult teaching people to eat healthy, especially if their diets have been basically junk food for the longest time. But a lot of that is probably because they don't know how to prepare something healthy that tastes good. So if you can teach them to prepare something healthy that they enjoy, it makes it that much easier.
Wow. Well, it sounds like it's really exciting. I would love to come down there and watch you guys do your homeless initiative. That must be really amazing to see that many people being fed, and you provide clothing as well.
That's awesome. We would love to have you. That would be great.
Awesome. You may not want me to eat while I'm there because I may take somebody else's meal. But anyway, that sounds like a really, really great program. And I want to thank you, Kevin, for being on the show today. And I really, really appreciate the program that you're a part of, S.P.E.A.K.
Oh, thank you.
And you guys doing a phenomenal job. And continue to serve those kids. And I'm sure that those kids will grow up to appreciate what you've done in their lives. Again, I'm Ty Johnson. I'm your host. When one's on the right, another's on the left, when we reach towards the middle, we begin to bridge the gap. Until next time, love somebody and be nice to everybody. Bye for now.